All right, let's bring him in. Our guy, we're going to talk ball with Hall from Q92 Sports. Big number 73 in red and black, in blue and white. Antonio Hall of the Sam Bourquin Show. What do you say, Coach?
What's up, Sam? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. How about you? Oh, I
doing
lost
great,
you. I
man.
lost your.
I'm doing
There
great.
you are. All right, my man. Hey, good to have you. Happy
There I
Wednesday.
go.
There you go. Now we're good. You gotta love technology. I thought of you. I saw this. Where did I see this story today? Today begins a stretch of 7 consecutive weeks where you can find football on TV every day of the week for the next 7 weeks. Well, we got
My favorite time of the year.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, between you got the Mid-American Conference starts their Tuesday games. Conference USA is playing games. You got NFL Thursday, Big Ten Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's like 49 days in a row. There's going to be football on TV. It is absolutely unbelievable. All right, let's get down to it. Let's talk a little high school football. We'll take a step back before we look ahead. And well, I guess what were your overall takes, Antonio, in the games in Week 7? Man, we had a couple of bangers. I mean, Lake, Jackson, Hoover, McKinley, a couple of other ball games, but maybe speak about those for the first two we just ran by you.
Yeah, Jackson and Lake knew it was going to be a great game. I predicted that Jackson was going to be Lake's first loss. I'm not going to brag or anything. I just know that with the quarterbacks that they have, with the running back that they have, with the receivers they have, that Jackson has the ability to score often. And they controlled the game early. Hats off to Lake for battling back in the fourth quarter, scoring 2 touchdowns, 2 extra point conversions. But Jackson did enough to hold them off at the end and get that big win, boosting their computer points tremendously, moving into the second part of the season. That was a great game. Great game.
Antonio, what do you see for the Bears here, like the next 3 weeks? Do they have another level they can get to? What's the ceiling for this club? It looks like they might be peaking a little bit now.
Definitely. They had some injuries at the beginning of the season. Guys are starting to come back now, get healthier. The fact that you have 2 quarterbacks that can get it done is tremendous. So if there's an injury or something unforeseen happens, you got 2 guys that can go into a game and really be able to execute at a high level. That defense continues to improve. They lost a ton of starters on that defense last year, but guys are starting to get settled into their position. Jackson just looks like a team who's peaking at the right time.
Man, you talked about the quarterback thing. I mean, obviously, Lucas Eckerman is QB1, but he's been bothered by some injuries, and he may play against Glen Oak. We're not sure, but you put Carter Mulliman in there. He throws for 308 yards and 2 touchdowns last week, and they just keep the boat rolling. Now, I did want to ask you this: they've got Glen Oak coming up this week. Glen Oak struggling, 1-6, 0-4 in the league, but as a coach, how do you keep after your guys this week? Because let's face it, teenagers see that record, they go, "Oh, we got this in the bag." How do you guard against that?
Team, try to make them realize that you're not ultimately playing the team that you're going against, you're playing yourselves, and really putting the focus on you as a team and how much improvement you want to see in certain areas this week. That's tough to do, especially moving into the second part of the season. You're facing a team who really doesn't have that good of a record. Teenagers naturally are going to check out, so you have to find ways to engage them to try to get their peak performance, so you don't have a performance letdown come Friday night against the team that you should beat.
Also last week, wow, McKinley and Hoover over at North Canton, the Pups hold on to win it 21-20. A big sigh of relief for Pup Nation after that game. That was that was a tough way to go if you were a Hoover fan, and if you're a McKinley follower, a big sigh of relief, right?
Huge win for the Pups on the road against the undefeated football team. I think McKinley caught a little break with Andy's not being able to go the second half. He went out right before halftime, what appeared
Yeah.
to be a concussion. But McKinley's defense, after that first drive when Hoover went down and scored, and Andy's showed why he's a 4.38 guy in the 40 because he pulled away from the entire McKinley secondary, which is impressive in itself. McKinley's defense really settled in, didn't let him get the ground game going until about middle of the third quarter. Uh, McKinley's athletes continue to make just impressive plays in the open field. If you give Darius Hill or DJ Britt or even Elijah Finn just a little bit of space, they're going to make you miss. So that's very impressive for McKinley that they can take basic routes at any time, be able to take it to the house. McKinley's running game. I mean, you think about it, they have a four-headed monster. You got Culver, Davis, Brooks. Oh yeah, and the sophomore Kylan the Kid West, who's only a sophomore but runs the ball like a grown ass man.
Oh,
Let's
he's
be real.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable, leading the county right now in rushing. That defense continues to play lights out. Their defensive line gets tremendous penetration. Their linebackers play downhill right now. That secondary is fast, they're physical, and they can cover you up. So big win for the Pups last week, staying defeated in the Federal League.
Antonio Hall is our guest, Q92 Sports. Week 8 of the high school football season. You can catch Coach Hall with us every Wednesday, 5:35 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, and all of our social media platforms. So the Bulldogs and Lake at the Benny this weekend, 6-1 against 6-1. Put your prognosticator's cap on here, my friend. What do you see?
I think Lake's going to play him tough, like Lake always does. Lake always plays McKinley tough, but McKinley just has too much firepower. The guys that I just mentioned, I think Lake had trouble defending Jackson's weapons, and McKinley has more weapons. So I think it's going to be close early, but ultimately I think McKinley probably ends up winning by 10. Um, I think that if Lake can get a ground game established early to make McKinley's defense play you honest, that's going to open up some shots for you in the passing game. But if you get down a score or two early, or if you're Lake and you're behind the chains on second and third down, that McKinley's defense is going to pin their ears back, and it's going to be hard for you to get anything going. So Lake establishing a run game early in that game is going to be crucial to keep that McKinley's defense honest.
Also in the Federal League this weekend, Perry and North Canton. Coach, I didn't realize this is going to be the 70th game between Perry and Hoover. I did not realize they were playing each other that long. This is number 70 this week. Perry is on the outside looking in right now as far as the playoffs. They need this one badly, and Hoover needs to rebound. What do you think? What do you think happens here on Friday night?
I think you have two really good defenses. I think you have a great run game in Perry with the three-headed monster at running back. Plus, you have those weapons on the edge this year with Foster and Wilson I've been talking all year about. And then on the other side, you have Hoover's passing game, and they're impressive. But you saw a couple weeks ago Perry make some adjustments in their secondary, move some guys around against Jackson, and that paid dividends. They had 3 interceptions, they had 3 pass breakups at critical times. So it's going to be fun to watch these two defenses, one against a very good run team, one against a very good pass team, and see how the cards shake up. I think Hoover has the edge in this game, but Daisy from Perry's coming back, their best offensive line, if he's out for a couple weeks. So that should help with that run game and get it going. But I think Hoover, especially if Andys can come back, not sure if he's there. Plus Collins was a little gimpy at the end of the game last week against McKinley. So I think health is going to determine ultimately North Canton's success. But if they're pretty healthy, I give a slight tilt to North Canton in this game.
All right. I've been waiting all day to talk to you about this one. 6-1 Alliance, 6-1 West Branch over at Beloit. Huge game in the EBC, huge game in the county, huge game in Northeast Ohio. I have my prediction. I've got Alliance 65, West Branch 65. The game ends in a tie because the scoreboard blows up and everybody has to go home. That's what I see.
We're we're
What do you?
always on the same we're always on the same wavelength. I think this game is going to come down to whoever has the football last,
Yep.
right? Uh, Two great offenses, two really good quarterbacks. J.R. Jackson, I mean, you can't say enough about the kid.
Hmm.
4 touchdowns last week, 71 yards on the ground. You got Ravon Hawkins. He's averaging over a buck on the ground for Alliance. So very high-powered offense is going to go at it. And like you said, it's going to be one of those 55 to 53 games. You're not going to leave till late, Sam. Sorry,
I know.
it's going to be
Oh,
11 o'clock before you hit your car.
yeah, thanks. Because you know what? I got to drive to Wilmington Saturday morning.
Oh wow, that's a quick turnaround, my friend.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. I know I can count on you. Antonio Hall is our guest, Q92 Sports, talking a little high school football here at 1310 WDPN. Let's go. Let's talk just a little bit about the playoff situation. Since they dropped it from 16 to 12, now we got some teams on the outside looking in. There are some huge games coming up here the next 3 weeks. If teams want to host, B, if they want to get a bye, and C, if they even want to get into the playoff party. How big is the next 3 weeks for the Stark County teams? Because right now, Antonio, we're down as far as playoff participants would be, like it's been the last several years. What do you look for here, the big picture down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean this is going to be huge for Perry. It's going to be huge for Jackson. Two teams who've traditionally been in the playoffs the past few years. This is going to be pivotal weeks for them. Um, McKinley can write their own ticket for getting a bye week. They're number 3 right now. North Canton, they're teetering to get a home game or even a bye week depending on how things shake out. So very crucial games. And as the trajectory and the landscape changes back to 12, it's going to be a little weird for people to see that because it was a little weird getting adjusted to 16.
Mm.
Now going back to 12, it's just going to take a little bit for programs and teams to kind of get the lay of the land for playoffs. But these next 3 weeks are going to be critical for a lot of teams here in Stark County.
And one of those teams is the Massillon Tigers. They are 4-3. They may have to handle their business here at least 2 of the next 3 weeks. We'll see. But got to go back and ask you about what happened after the game with the Tigers and Cardinal Ritter out of Missouri last weekend. Police department had to come out with pepper spray. There was a lot of crazy stuff going on in the handshake line. Some of the players were going up into the stands on the visiting side of the field. Unfortunately, you've had to go through a couple of these. Why do you think this stuff continues to happen, and what literally has to be done to put a stop to it?
Well, I've only been a part of one of them, and it just so happened that the one that I was against, that team, it wasn't their first, second, or third time for it to happen. So I just think that it comes from emphasis from your coaching staff, from your administration. Like you have to put a point of emphasis on sportsmanship. There has to be a plan in place to make sure that coaches have eyes on your guys all the time. I mean, after that happened to me, I had to take a lot of time and just figure out, okay, if this happens again,
Mm-hmm.
one, how can we try to prevent it? But two, if it happens, how can we manage it? And so, unfortunately, it's just something that you have to account for now because guys see it before college games, they see it before NFL games, and it's going to trickle down to the high school level. But I don't believe in blaming coaches. I don't believe in blaming players even. You have to blame society because if kids are monkey see, monkey do. If they see it, they're going to do it, no matter how much you try to talk to them about it. But you have to have a point of emphasis to say that this is not what we're about, and emphasize what you are about. Tempers fly all the time on the football field after a game, but I mean to have the police, spraying people, and as far as the guys going up in the stands, to me it looked like they were just trying to get off the field any way they could because their locker room was on the clear opposite side, but that's where Maslin was at. So to me, it looks like they were just trying to get off the field so that they weren't any, in the middle of anything. That was my
And
interpretation after watching the video. So
yeah, and to branch off of that, and there's only two videos that are out there that I know of that I've watched. One was ground level, one was a pan back from the press box side. But remember, over Maslin, Antonio, you've got Maslin fans sitting on that side of the field
right,
too, and
right.
between the 40s. So I mean, that could have been a more volatile situation than it was, and hopefully that nonsense stops immediately. Let's talk about something really good. Our guy Harold Fannin Jr. caught another touchdown pass last week, and now the Browns didn't win. They have since shipped off Joe Flacco to the Bengals, who was announced as Cincinnati's starting quarterback this Sunday against Green Bay. First, your thoughts on Harold, how he is balling, and then if you could kind of try to decipher exactly what the hell is going on up in Berea. The floor is yours.
To impress, playing far above what you would expect a rookie to play. And not just Harold, but that whole rookie class just seems to be like a very solid draft
Mm-hmm.
class by the Browns, probably their best ever, especially since they came back in '99. But to see Harold become a focal point, and as you see defenses now adjust to Harold, second half you saw Njoku popping wide open. And so to have a true two-headed monster at tight end to play with a true tight end set, it's hard to favor either one because when you do, that opens up opportunities for the other one. But I was happy that they seemed to be going to him early, especially in that first half. After the first half, they really didn't target him. But I think it was because the defense was shifting over to Harold and King on him, so Njoku was able to have a great second half and almost put the Browns in position to win. As far as quarterback, who the hell knows?
That's why I asked you, because I don't know either.
I
I mean,
mean,
literally, I give up.
now you have two rookies, two guys who are unproven in the NFL, trying to head a team who do have a lot of quality vets, especially on that defensive side of the ball. And I don't know what type of message you're sending to your locker room when you trade away the quarterback who's a proven winner. Yeah, he was struggling this year, but if he comes off the bench like he did a couple years ago and plays lights out, you can go on a run. And so now, like, I don't know if the locker room is going to check out because it's like, okay, now we got these two rookies and we're just going to go through the year trying to see what they're going to do, evaluate them, not really expecting much out of them. You have a lot of rookies playing on the offensive side of the ball, not a lot of experience. You have a makeshift offensive line, a ton of injuries. You're moving guys around. So to me, it seems like the typical Browns. You got a solid defense, and no one knows what the hell's going on the offensive side of the ball.
No, and I don't know if you heard or watched or listened to the press conference today. Kevin Stefanski, you can tell he had no idea. He had no idea that Joe Flacco was going to be traded. No idea, which is really it's awful. You could tell that he wasn't really in on that one, and they shipped him away. And the other thing is, Antonio, you talked about the rookies in the room. I mean, where's the leadership going to come from now?
Exactly.
Who's going to take anybody under their wing? Bailey Zappi? No, thank you. Where are they going to get? Where are they going to get what they would have got from Joe Flacco?
Exactly. And Joe Flacco just has a presence about him, even if he's not on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He has a presence. He has experience. He has wisdom. Reading an article from Shador Sanders about Joe Flacco being traded, he said, "I leaned on him for wisdom."
Yep, I read the same thing.
And so now you take that away, and people who are just fans and really don't understand how a locker room work, that's a huge void. Not just playing time, but just that direction in a locker room, especially a team that's struggling to find their way. And so really, I really don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 weeks with the Browns because there's just so much turnover.
Yeah, it's unreal. If I'm Kevin Stefanski, and if this keeps going for another 3 or 4 weeks, I might go to the Browns and say, "Will you fire me?" I might just pay me and get me out of here.
I'll be on the golf course for the next year collecting my check.
That's right, and get some darker shades back in that beard again because he's getting a lot of gray there. if you notice, the last couple of years up in Cleveland. Antonio, always a pleasure, my man. I appreciate the visit. We'll do it again a week from today. Have a great call this weekend, and we will talk to you down the road.
Sounds good, brother. Looking forward to it.
There he goes. Antonio Hall, Q92 Sports, stopping by, talking some football here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN.